Alright, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of War of Divisions. This is going to be my 100 subscriber special. I was thinking about what I can really do for a 100 subscriber special. I was going to poll for Sakura, because during my 10 subscriber video, I polled for Kain. And I think I think Rosa cost me like 60,000 Vizier. It was bad. I had to pull my paid Vizier too. Anyways, so I was gonna poll Sakura, but then I got her in one poll, so that was a real short video. So I guess today we're gonna give some tips to some new players. Tips to every give some tips to every spending level, and then we'll take a trip down memory lane with all my units. But before we do all that, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Mustadio from the guild. He's a real life friend, and he encouraged me to start playing. Well, he got me into this game. It was a funny conversation. I saw this game advertising the Final Fantasy Tactics collab, and I was like, oh hey, I think Final Fantasy Tactics has a app game successor. He told me he was playing it for about 6 months. So in order to catch up to his 6 months progress, I kind of had to wail. But in doing so, he also got me into Cabbage's guild, the same YouTuber Cabbage. So big shout out to him, thanking him for letting me join the guild. And of course, shout outs to all my guildmates, Zombie Food, Chaz, Tin, Lai, Logi, Soldier, Mike Phoenix. These guys, they're like my first 10 subscribers, so thank you guys a lot. You really helped get me started. And Cabbage for helping me get adjusted into the guild and letting me giving some insights into future JP content. Also, shout outs to all my YouTube subscribers, especially every Square Alliance Gaming. He invited me to a Discord, and I think from there I went from like 60 subs to 100 in like a week. So thank him a lot for that. And thank Wild Rose. He comments on a lot of my videos, and it was nice talking to him. I try, because our channel is very small, I try to read every comment and reply if I can. Moving on to the tips, we'll actually get the tips for the bigger spenders. And I'm surprised I'm not Royal 12 at this point. We're getting pretty close. I think I'll probably get there by Yuna. Tips for the bigger spenders, I would say, like always, when you have about 5 or 6 weapons ready to make, probably is a good time to get the equipment pass and the unit pass. I get these two every. I think I've gotten it maybe 2 or 3 times. I get these two whenever a bunch of units come out. So when Dwayne came out, Freyevia came back, Luarta was there, and Titus. So there's 4 units right there. And as you know, getting resonance for a unit is horrible. So it's basically a 1000 stage grind. And generally you want to have 3 or 4 espers on one unit. I'll give you an example. You want 3 or 4 espers on one unit. So what I would do is I would buy the JP up and resonance pack, and I would come farm this level, chapter 4, scene 2, mission 9. And I would just equip a bunch of espers that don't have resonance on, and then I would just let the calculator clear the stage in about 30 seconds, and that's how I would get all of the resonance. So Mashuri is kind of a new unit I'm trying to level up, so she doesn't have a lot of resonance. But here's Leela. She has almost 5 or 6. I think my Ildira has like resonance with like 12 espers maxed out. This is Sakura. She's brand new, so she already has 3 maxed out. Going for the 4th one there. So I think it's totally worth it because realistically, this is basically the fastest way to farm resonance by farming Chapter 4, Scene 2, Mission 9. There's one in Chapter 2 as well. I think it's Chapter 2, Scene 2, 1. Anyways, well, that used to be the fastest way. It takes about half a minute. It takes about half a minute to get one stage completed, so that's about 2 stages a minute. 2 stages a minute is about 180 missions in roughly an hour. So you should get your you should have max resonance in about 3 hours with 1 Esper, assuming you have the pass. If you don't have the pass, it'll take you about 5 hours. And the way I look at it, considering you have to get multiple Espers, the JP Resonance Pass is actually really good because it saves you a ton of time, and time is money. And realistically, time is money. And I'd rather not keep my computer on for that long because obviously I'm also wasting electricity at that point. So I think the $8 really kind of pays for itself. And then as for the weapons pass, I usually get that after a raid, because generally after a raid there will be the one raid specific item that I can get that I would probably get 99 recipes for, and then there are 2 other side items. For example, for the dragon raid, you can also get Soul of Dharmasa, but you can also get Platinum Robe, and I think Platinum Helm, I think was the other one. But basically, oh no, there was Purple Lightning. So basically, when a raid comes around, I farm up a whole bunch of MR recipes, UR recipes, etc., and then I just use the equipment pass to boost them up to max. Because if I'm gonna spend so much time farming the recipes, I might as well make them perfect. And that's where the World of Armory series comes from. So that was for big spenders. I recommend buying the 2 passes. For medium spenders, I would recommend buying this monthly pass right here. I think realistically, everybody that is spending and gonna play the game, I think everybody that spends should buy this pass, because that basically has the best value in the game. Other than that, for medium spenders, what I would suggest is just don't pull the banners. And what you want to do is just go to the shop or Whimsy shop and just buy the tickets or just buy the shards. And I think that is the most consistent way of getting characters if you're a medium spender. So what I would say is just buy a limb shards and buy Sakura shards. I don't have a limb, by the way, so a good way of doing it would be, right now she's a featured character, so I would buy as many of her shards as I can. I would suggest going up to about 400 because characters are useful for PvP around 89. You don't really have to go 99 unless their TMR is God tier. So what I would do is I'll get about 400 shards for, let's say, a limb. And then basically a week from now, you get easier chances of pulling them, or you get more chances of pulling them because then they get featured in this normal summon. Or in this regular rare summon that you get daily tickets for. As you can see, Luarta is already on here. I think Nivlu should be on here soon as well. No, Nivlu's already on here, and she was the last unit. So this is a good way of getting units as well. And you see, I saved up a ton of these tickets because I actually haven't really used them. So that's about 60 days where I haven't pulled on the regular banner. So if you just wait it out, buy the shards, they start going into the rare, they start joining that rare summon pool, and what will happen is eventually you can get the select summon ticket, right? You can just select the unit you want and pull them that way. And that's always a good way of getting the unit you want for sure. I believe I have one of them. Select unit summon ticket, New Year celebration. All units before the 23rd. I think Luarta is in here, But basically, every couple of weeks there's a event, and you get one of these tickets. So what you want to do is just buy the shards, and generally, the way the math works out like this, right? If you buy the shards for just the unit, it'll cost you around 30k Visor. And Sakura has a bingo board, right? Sakura bingo board gives you 120 shards for free. 120 shards is about 6k Visor. Realistically, you're gonna use way more than 6k Visor to pull the unit. So that 6k, you can see it as a subsidy, and if you can get it under 6k, then you basically saved and made some Visor in the process. But generally, that's not the case. Generally, it'll cost you maybe at least one pity, which is roughly 12k Visor on top of a 30k to kind of level them up. So from a cost efficiency point of view, just buying the shards and then hoping you can get them with the daily rare ticket that you get from doing missions, or from a select summon ticket that comes a couple of weeks down the road, is the most cost efficient way to play the game. And realistically, that's how I would play the game if I wasn't whaling and I wasn't a content creator. And that's probably what I'm gonna do for Lardo, the next unit. I totally forgot he was fire. I thought he was earth. So what I did was I exchanged all my fire awakening crystals for light ones, so I can get light units to support Sakura. So that's awkward because now I don't have any fire awakening crystals for Lardo. So the plan here is for Lardo, I'm just gonna buy his shards and I'm gonna skip him. And then by the time Yuna comes around, there will be select UR tickets to summon Lardo directly. So that would be my plan for Lardo. That's medium spenders. For light spenders, I still would recommend that monthly pass, but I also recommend getting this job crystal, especially if you're just starting out the game, because this job crystal is vision card is invaluable. It essentially allows you to get an extra 50% JP per battle, and the card itself is not bad either, but extra 50% JP acquisition. I would highly recommend getting that. And then moving on to F2P players. F2P players can't really use that strategy I talked about where you just buy shards. I mean, you can. So what you do is you just buy shards, and then the way you pull units is you would pull it through the Hiroki's gift and those free pulls. Like right now, there's a free pull every day. And you get free pulls you get a free rare pull every day from doing the missions. So you can also use that. And I believe if you use 10 of those rare tickets at a time, you're guaranteed at least an MR. But anyways, for F2P players, what I would recommend is either getting blue stacks and running a macro to farm multi, or getting an auto clicker and farm multi, because F2P players, they don't have the luxury that the pay players have, right? You can't really buy NRG pots, things like that. So you basically have to mooch off of people in multi. And realistically, the game is not really pay to win. I mean, generally any game that allows you to pay will give you a huge advantage, but here you don't have to play the game as pay to win. I think it's Nerd Knight. He did a video on his 2 accounts that are both about a year old, about 300 days old. And he had one account where he spent $500, and he had one account where he spent $20, and they're getting pretty close. And he would think around 500 days is when the 2 accounts would kind of be roughly the same. And I believe there's some truth to that, because in these type of games there is a critical mass that you can attain, in which throwing money in it will not fix the problem, or it will not help boost your account as much anymore. And I think most of the YouTubers are already at that critical mass where, like, oh, I already have every unit, I'm only pulling for the new one, things like that. And that's part of the reason why that leads to our next tip. Right, these next couple ones are just straight up general tips. I would just leave a couple of UR units at 89 or at limit break 4. That way, when I pull for those the paid banners where you get like 50 shards, therefore when I pull for those, I don't get stuck with a bunch of Mog medals. And since units are usable at 89, I can kind of just leave them at 89, and then give a 200 shard buffer for so I don't go, oh, I just get Mog medals, and just let them max out naturally, unless of course the TMR is amazing. So that's one tip. Just leave you guys at 89 and then wait to get shards. Obviously, these tips aren't the best way to. They're the most cost-efficient way to play the game. It's not the funnest way to play the game. Some people will even consider it lame, but saving money is not lame. It'll just be kind of boring because you don't get the latest and greatest, but it is a good option for those of you that are limited in resources. Essentially, what paying for the game does is it allows you to make more mistakes. But eventually, we all hit that critical mass, and it won't make a difference. And that's where EX jobs comes in, right? Because a lot of the whales are already at this critical mass where spending doesn't really entice them to get stronger, or spending doesn't really have that kind of doesn't have that kind of reward ratio anymore. So that's why EX jobs came out about. That's why EX jobs came out when it did. I believe EX jobs coming out is kind of a forecast as to how well the game is doing. I believe if the more money that the game makes, the faster they're forced to do these kind of major expansion updates, right? Because the more whales are pretty much hitting critical mass and realizing, hey man, I can throw another $500 into this game, but it's not gonna take me anywhere. They get bored. So in order to kind of appease the upper realm, they have to introduce stuff like EX jobs. So that's one tip. Get your guys to 89 and kind of just wait there. Another one is make sure you have all your companion settings. I still run to a lot of people that are like rank 120 and don't have all of their guys set up here. I haven't had to use a companion in a very long time, but I'm sure the people that have me as their friends appreciate it. Going from there, what else is a good tip? I would say like don't use the exchange shop as much as you can, especially exchanging rare materials like those awakening prisms, because now I'm kind of locked out of getting Lardo because I don't have any more of these. And you can see I'm really dry on these. I have enough. I thought he was Earth type, so I kept my Earth type ones, and I transmuted all my Fire type ones, and now I'm kind of screwed. So that was really awkward. Another thing is always upgrade your. Here's another tip: always upgrade your vision cards first. These medals right here. When I got them, I just threw it into Sakura to max her out. But that's because I have a ton of maxed out vision cards. But when you get the choice between unit shards and vision card shards, go with vision card shards. Because there is no good way of getting vision card shards, but you can always get the unit shards from hard quests. And even when you pick the vision cards, make sure you don't pick certain ones like Shiva, Odin, the ones that you can get for free. Tetrasylphid. So I'll definitely avoid those. Avoid Shiva, Tetrasylphid, and Odin. And then there's another layer that you can avoid. You don't really need Two-Headed Dragon, but you can avoid all of the ones that are here as well. Because these guys well, first you would avoid the ones that are 50 cost, because that don't come with a Esper. Because they're cheaper. So when you get those like summon 50 UR shard tickets, first I would just summon all of the Esper ones first, because they're more expensive in the shop. And then I would go for the cheaper ones. These I can just buy with mob coins. And then I would go. The first ones I would go for is the ones that aren't in the shop. And then I would go for the Esper ones, because the Esper ones cost more in the exchange shop. And then you would go to these last, once you've maxed out everything else. And I would say max out vision cards before you max out units. Realistically, having powerful vision cards will carry you through the game a lot easier than having powerful units. You can probably get to Arena top 1000-ish with 3 maxed out vision cards versus having maxed out units and not having maxed out vision cards. Some of the vision cards that I highly recommend is like Fenrir, gives you agility. Magic Resist, the agility is insane. You can throw, and the thing with Fenrir is you can throw them on anybody because it gives you the 10% HP. Odin, these are good general ones. Shiva, Odin and Shiva you can kind of get for free. Secrets of the Heart, Huckable, these cards are really great. They fit into any team. And then if you want to get more niche, like Ramuh and Ifrit for your melee and magic teams, things like that, then it just becomes more and more niche. But general cards, if you have like Odin, Shiva, and Secrets of the Heart, you're basically set in terms of vision cards. You can build a straight evade team. Most MRs have insane evade, like Shadowlands, Ravi, Sir Old. All of them have great evade, and you have a team right there. So yeah, last advice: just build vision cards before you build units. And then for the last one is every meta, or every time you think the meta shifted. For example, it went from Dwayne Swords to Nivlu Bow, and now to Light from Sakura. So every couple of weeks, you'll want to reset your Espers. I'll give you an example. I had my when it was missile meta, I had my Ifrit as missile resist and piercing. But now there's class matches today, so and there's a ton of Agrius. Because of the Baal Virginet item, Dwayne's disable isn't as good anymore. So Agrius is making a comeback now. And because Agrius is making a comeback, and because she's everywhere in class matches, I basically have to pop out 25 Ice Eater and throw it on Christmas Mockery, because Agrius is so tough to fight in class matches, even where there's no healing. So make sure you reset your Espers every now and then to adjust to the new meta. I actually reset it today because I didn't have the Ice Eater, and I gave it on Christmas Mockery, and I was not doing very good damage against that Agrius. So things like that. Some units like Odin, you can kind of just leave them as 25 Man-Eater and you'll be good to go. But other ones like Ifrit, ones that have killers, you may need to consider redoing them. Alright, that was all the tips for today. And once again, I thank you guys all for helping me get to 100 subscribers. I still remember about a month ago, or was it 2 months ago, when I think it was around late November, was when Final Fantasy IV came out, and at the time I only had 10 subscribers, and really it was just me and my buddy Mustadio watching me stream high polls, and oh boy, those polls were tragic. The number of polls I did for Rosa was tragic. Overall, though, I did not regret getting Rosa, and even though you can kind of see that I'm like Royal 11, which is a good chunk of money, let's put it that way, more than more than I would want to know. No regrets, because what this got me into was it got me into video editing, it got me into YouTube, it got me into Twitch streaming, and then from there maybe I'll make a Patreon somewhere later down the road. Hopefully someday maybe I'll get 1,000 subscribers, and the account can be funded by the YouTube channel, things like that. Long-term goals. But overall, like, no regrets playing this game. I think it's a great game. Do I think it lives up to Final Fantasy Tactics legacy? Not really, but I feel like that era is kind of gone. The era where people kind of sit down and play games for a couple hours, it's kind of gone, because this generation, it's more of a you want some quick hits, and I guess I'd rather have a Final Fantasy Tactics skinned Alchemist Code mobile game than no game at all, right? So I really appreciate the game. Being able to see Final Fantasy characters in a tactics-like game, that part I really appreciated, and I've appreciated a lot of the every little nuance of the game I can kind of make a video on, and you guys will notice I pumped a lot of videos out, and it's more like my YouTube channel is more of like a diary of my arena exploits. But overall, like, I've learned so much doing this YouTube channel, from video editing to adding music, recording on my phone, recording on my computer, rendering videos, special effects, things like that. So no regret. Realistically, I don't think I would have made that much if I took that money and spent it on a course. So I'm very grateful for this game and the community. Thank you guys all for getting me to 100 subscribers. I really hope one day we can have this chat again at 1,000. And then from there, I can like happily announce, hey, my game is now subsidized by my YouTube channel.